to start when another dog comes. Okay, I'll start. Gang Hai Fa Choi. Happy New Year of the Rabbit. Happy Chinese New Year of the Rabbit. Thank you for joining me. This is my my predictions for the upcoming Chinese Year of the Rabbit, 2023, and I want to do some predictions for you for what you're going to experience over the next 12 months, maybe a bit more. I don't know when the new Chinese Year begins after this. It will be Dragon Year. Wow, Dragon Year next. Oh, hold on a second. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Go, Papa, go, go, go. Good girl. Bit of an interruption there. Alright, Papa, sit down. So yes, I'm going to pull some cards. I've got my selection of cards here ready, and we are going to do some readings for you. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about the Rabbit Year. It's going to be an interesting time with what we've been experiencing recently. The Tiger Year, wow. I mean, a lot of people struggled in this Tiger Year, and not necessarily because of the repercussions of the pandemic either. Hey, Baba, don't do that. Not necessarily because of the repercussions of the pandemic either, but because there's just the energy of this Tiger Year was such that it was quite oppressive, and a lot of signs felt like they couldn't be themselves, and they couldn't stand in their power in quite the way that they used to. You need to stop doing that, sweetie. Stop doing that. So the Rabbit Year is going to change that. It is going to allow people to not feel so oppressed and suppressed. So there is a certain level of freedom that wasn't there in the Tiger Year. The other thing that's going to be quite noticeable for most signs is the fact that it's a far more creative year. Not that tigers aren't creative, they're very creative. But the influence that the Rabbit Year has on people is that it makes them more creative, and there's something about the rabbit sign that is kind of the political artist. So they use their art to challenge. You use lots of indirect ways to challenge authority. And I think one of the things that they do is they're very good at civil disobedience. For example, I talked about this in my the article I wrote for the 2023 Chinese New Year of the Rabbit. That's on my website. I talked about how in the last Rabbit Year, 2011, in the UK, we had the London riots, which were started because the police shot a black man, Mark Duggan, I believe his name was, and in protest, these riots took place where there was like mass looting of like stores. Started off in like North London, in a place called Tottenham, and then it's just sort of spread across the country. And that these riots where people are just smashing windows and taking things, and that, not that is civil disobedience, because it's not very civil. It's uncivil disobedience, but it gives you an example of the kind of chaotic, laissez-faire energy that comes in Rabbit Years. There's also a lot of natural disasters, especially autumn time. But the positive, I suppose those are, I don't know whether they're positive or negatives. The civil disobedience thing depends on where you land in terms of your beliefs. But there are lots of positives, however, which I'm going to focus on. Primarily being that you are allowed to be yourself. Being yourself is rewarded. Standing in your power, using your art to say how you feel. And just generally, it's a romantic year. It's also one of the 2 years of beauty, the dog year and the Rabbit Year. Those are the two signs that are connected to beauty. So it's one of those years where you want to make your surroundings beautiful. You want to like look after yourself, look after your health, make yourself more beautiful, and just do those things that really make your heart come alive. Now I've got 6 packs of tarot cards here. So this is the Starseed Tarot. This is the Witch's Tarot. I've used this quite a lot of times. You will, those of you who've seen my videos before will know that I've used this pack before. Got the traditional Rider-Waite deck. The Robin Wood pack. This lovely green energy, green cards. We have the Archangel pack, one of the Doreen Virtue packs. She does make beautiful cards. She really does, with the angels. And this is the pack which I use the most, which is the Druid pack. Right, we're gonna start with the rat. Let's see which pack I'm drawn to I'm drawn to Robin Wood for rats. I used to have a friend who was a rat Pisces, very special girl, and she used to have this pack, and I'd go to her place, and I would end up using her cards to read for her and some of our other friends. I used to know her when I used to do acting training in a place called the Questus Theatre in Ealing, and she's now, where's she gone now? She's moved off now, somewhere like Frome. Bless her heart. She's a really wonderful, wonderful person. Right, what's going to happen for you, rat sign, in 2023? Let's have a look. I'm going to do a general reading first, and then I'm going to look at some specific areas, okay? Right. In the recent past now, there's been some sort of emotional hurt, some difficulty, where despite the emotional heaviness that you've been feeling, you've just had to carry on because you've not been able to stop. There's just been too many things happening, and also there's you're duty bound to just continue, and that's been affecting you and the other people that share that same responsibility that you have. But you know now that things are about to shift because this is the recent past. Now where we are, we've got this card of working towards mastery on something. So rats are very, very good at channeling, like having tunnel vision, just focusing on one thing and just getting it done, compartmentalizing everything else and just staying focused once they finally decide on a certain road that they want to go down, and they stay focused on it. So it's possible at the beginning part of this year you're like, you know what, this is something I've wanted to do for ages, and I keep getting derailed. I'm going to finally make this happen now, and that's what's starting. It could be that there are some obstacles that come in the way because there's some other important things that also the universe is asking you to handle. We've got the World card here in this position here. So the World's saying, look, there's other important things that you also need to do that we want you to do. So in amongst your focused work here, there may be other things. So this influence working in your favour, influence working against you. The universe is saying, yeah, you want to get your stuff done. How much do you badly want it? How badly do you want it? Because I want to give you other things that you need to have to do as well at the same time. But you will get it done because you're sowing the seeds for your financial success and your creative success, and you ultimately have the advantage in doing this. So if it's a competitive field and there's other people who are also vying for your position, you will have the upper hand. The overall outcome card here is, we've got the Lovers here. So the Lovers card is about self-healing and then getting yourself to a place where you're ready to be with somebody else. So self-healing to the point where you're able to meet your own needs in a healthy way, so that you can attract romantic love into your life. So I suppose this is for those people who are unattached, those rats who are unattached. But for those of you who are attached, it just means taking your relationship to another level now. But it's a very, very positive card, the 6. Yeah, it's pretty good generally. So it looks pretty good. There's nothing really to worry about here, except for what's already happened in the tiger year. All right, so I want to also now look at some. So there were 3 aspects I wanted to look at in addition to a general reading. I wanted to look at your health, wealth, and romance. So let's do health first, and see how you will fare this year in terms of your health. It's very interesting that we got the World card in the same position here as we had in the last spread. So it looks like it's going to be a very karmic year for you, rat people, because we've got the World card here in the same position, influence is working against you. So when you're working on something, the World card, because it's put in this position here, the World card is going to, what it's saying is that the universe is going to give you these things that are distractions, they're not distractions because they're necessary and they need to get done, their priorities, and they're going to cause problems in terms of your focus, much like the last one, because this card is here. In your health, if you've been worrying about it, you've been fighting it off, you've been taking preventative measures, which is really, really positive. Influence working against you is that you've managed to get away from something twice, and you've managed to come home and everything's fine. Like I'm just reading it as it comes, basically, and I think you're going to make some wise decisions in order to prevent it from happening again. But the overall outcome card here in terms of your health is very, very positive. It's a family card, 10 of Cups. There's a rainbow there, there's happiness, there's joyfulness, there's connectedness. It's very, very good, especially those people who are in families. I think there's going to be a lot of love and a lot of care taken with you if there are any issues, but it doesn't seem like there's anything major here. So that's very, very good. That's health. Let's move on to wealth. Wonder if we'll get the world card in that position again. Well, now when I say wealth, I mean your career and your financial standing. So let's see how that goes. Excuse me. Okay, so now this is for you personally. Okay, so the ideas that you've had may be a bit lofty, so you have your head in the clouds a little bit, but you're only in the early stages of your plans anyway, so that's okay. It can be worked upon, and I think that there's you're going to come at it with another level of maturity now, so that you are able to figure out, we'll make plans that are really concrete and actually come from a place of general rationality. I was going to say when you got your feet in the ground, because you don't, right? Because this card is the overall outcome, meaning that your plans might not be entirely realistic. So therefore, the time you have to sort of sit down and make realistic plans, and you will do that. But you have this innate fear that these plans that you make are not going to happen, and I think it's possible. And then you start procrastinating and doing things that are destructive, and it's possible that that's why this card here has come up, because when you start doing that, when you start making rational plans that are actually achievable, you start procrastinating so that you don't actually achieve them. And so this card is saying then the next step from there is you create unrealistic expectations of yourself, so that when it doesn't happen, you can beat up on yourself. And that's not helpful. So what would be wise is for you to make rational plans, stick to them, and don't give yourself too short a time frame to actually achieve it. You've got to be fair on yourself. This is the Justice card. You've got to do it bit by bit. All right? And then once you get started, you hit a tipping point. And when you hit that tipping point, things speed along from there. All right? So if you do make a rational plan, then look, we've got the seeds for your financial success and your wealth success there. If you do take it slowly and you don't have unrealistic expectations of yourself, and you don't have ridiculously ambitious plans, it's okay to have ridiculously ambitious plans ultimately, but not when you're starting off. You don't want to expect yourself to go from 0 to 90 miles per hour. You need to expect yourself to go 5 miles per hour, 10 miles per hour, 20 miles per hour, and then build. And once you've got a certain level of success, then you can build on that ambition, and because then it's realistic. All right, so that's wealth and career. Now let's have a look at romance. Okay. So this is very interesting. This year is a good one for people to meet prospective partners. So the starting off point is that you've changed over the last year. Okay, this is the card of, or the Judgment card is to do with rebirth and starting life anew, being called in a new direction. In a direction that suits you and your skill set. And because we're asking about love, it means you're ready. See how she's ready. It's the phoenix rising from the ashes, right? So, you're ready. You're ready for love. You're ready for romance. Now, if you look at the overall outcome card, the Hierophant is symbolic of institutions, churches, schools. But also, this is the card of marriage. So I wonder if there's lots of rat people out there who are ready for marriage. And they may already be partnered, they might not be. But this is a very good year to meet that person if you haven't already. Look at how bizarre these amazing cards are. The influence is working in your favour is when you let any pretense go and you're just allowing yourself to be who you are. Because rats have a tendency to present a strong face. I'm strong, I don't want to look like a weak woman. Even when you are feeling vulnerable, you present that strength that I've got it together, I've got my shit together. But look, see now, influence working in your favour is that you're revealing your vulnerability. You're revealing that you don't have your crap together. You can show the parts that you do have it together and show the parts that you don't have together, because you're not trying to, you want to meet somebody, but you're not trying to present anything of yourself that you're not. Okay? And this is the difference. Influences against you is that you've also stopped trying as well. This is the manifester. So on the one hand, you're allowing yourself to be vulnerable. You're not having to present that face of superiority or perfection. And you've let it all go. You've surrendered. You're not trying too hard to make it happen. So short-term future, we've got the card of... so this is the card of when you have to wait. There's a period of waiting before something happens. So, and then after that, look, we've got the happy family card. Then you meet somebody and then you're able to connect with that person. That person might have a family, or you might start work on creating your own family yourself. And for those of you that are already partnered up for those rat signs, this just shows that you've put yourself in a position where you're dropping all pretenses, and you're surrendering your will. I know this isn't the surrender your will card. That's the hanged man card, but it's because this position here, influence is working against you. This is the manifestor. So normally the manifestor is the one that uses the law of attraction to make things happen, but it's influence working against you. You're not doing that anymore. You're like, you know what? I let it go. I release it. I'm not doing it. Hence why you surrender your will. And so you have to wait, this period of waiting, and then it just comes. It comes and you recognise it and you feel it. One of the things to notice is because you're so busy this year, you've got so many other things happening, you want to carve some time for yourself so you can make this happen. All right? So prioritise it. It's a good energetic time for you to prioritise this. Okay? All right. Now, really quickly, I want to zoom through what the months of the year are going to be like for you. Right. Okay, right, let's have a look. January, it's the first month of the year, and it's the 22nd today as I'm filming this, so it is Chinese New Year today. So there's not much of it, but anyway, in this month of January, it's early stages where there's much happening, but you're just sort of, it's all in the air at the moment, it's all in your mind at the moment, it's all preparation. Making plans, what are you going to do, how are you going to make things happen, and then the creative spark comes in February. So this is when you put those plans and make them a bit more concrete, and you start new projects, writing projects, projects where you need a lot of energy put into it, and you're ready to do that in February. March time, we've got a card of contribution, giving back, maybe working with people who are less fortunate than yourself. Also, if you need to get some money, borrow money or get a loan or anything like that, be consciously aware of any strings that might be attached to any money that you do receive or give as well. So this card has many interpretations. All cards have many interpretations, but this one is an interesting one in that regard. But it's a positive one. It's a card of charity and compassion and giving giving freely of yourself. April, we've got the studying card. This is the Page of Pentacles. Now, when this card comes up, it's saying it's time to look a little more deeply into one of the topics that you are involved in. So maybe it's time to study a bit more. Maybe it's time to go back to school. Also, this card could also mean a slight increase in your finances as well. This is April time. May, we've got the Queen of Cups. She's the nurturer. She looks after you and looks after your heart, looks after your body, she's the nurturer. She nurtures all aspects of yourself. Sorry. So she is a bit overgiving though. So what she does is she's quick to nurture other people, and then she needs to nurture herself as well, and she does, but she'll nurture herself last. She's not like the Queen of Pentacles who nurtures herself first. So she's a wonderful mother energy person, and it's possible that you'll get treated like by the universe as that child, as a grateful child, because the mother will nurture you in this month of May. It's a very, very positive month for you. Lots of good things can happen because when you feel loved and cherished, you shine. You shine. So in the month of May, you will shine, dear rat. June, there's somewhat of a restriction there for you. There's things that are hidden from you, so you can't entirely see the situation. So through restricting that information, somebody or a group of people may be preventing you from seeing the options that you have. But you have more options than you realise. But yeah, you're somewhat restricted because of some people around you who don't want you to know certain things. So that's June. July. So now this is the independent woman, independent person living life on their own terms. It can sometimes mean that there's a little bit of solitariness with this card. So you might find yourself not with your loved ones or not around your social network in quite the way that you usually are. But it's still very positive. This is the wealthy person that's able to live life on her own terms, because her terms, his terms, and any way you want to go with that. Basically, live life on their own terms because money is no object and opportunities abound. Okay, August. This is the Page of Swords. Now, this card means. It can mean, well, there's lots of interpretations. As I said, all the cards have lots of interpretations. So this card is one of the 4 cards of narcissism, okay? So this is the borderline personality card, but it also means somebody who's learning their power, because this page is young. She has a sword in her hand, but she doesn't really know how to use it yet. So she's slowly learning her power, learning how to use this sword. And as she does that, she puts herself in good stead for the future. But if this card does for you mean the borderline personality card, you need to be aware of people who push and pull. One second they love you, the next second they hate you. They have erratic personalities. They're up, they're down. So you need to be aware of those types of people. And if it is the symbolic of that, then it might be wise for you to cut and go, because these people can just drain you of your energy. So be conscious of that. So that's August. September. July, August, September. September, we've got this card of like a blessing in disguise, but feeling kind of dissatisfied with what you've been given. So this is it's about changing your attitude. Sometimes you can't control the situations you find yourself in. So what can you do but change your attitude and perception around what you are given and what you're facing? So that will be helpful. And also be conscious of the fact that there is a blessing in disguise in all of this. So just wait it out and you'll find that what seems like a bad thing might actually turn into a good thing if you give it enough time. So July, August, September, October. October's going to be a big month because we've got the death card here, transformation. Something that no longer serves you will fall away. Be interesting if it was this borderline person. But it's a prominent time. October is a prominent time for transformation for you. Some things that have served their purpose are no longer going to be there for you anymore. So you let them go and you free yourself, and you unburden yourself. It might not be easy. You might feel like you're losing something, but you're not. You're making space for something new to take its place. And the new thing is going to be much more better for you and much more suitable for you as well. If you can allow yourself to be open to the new, and don't hold on so much to the past and what you've had before. Be free. Right, November, we've got the Six of Wands, which is one of the 3 victory cards. The other being the Ace of Swords and the Chariot card. So yes, the returning home victorious, being put on a pedestal, you're in the spotlight, you get a bit of fame, you get known, bit of positive notoriety. Is there such a thing? I don't know. Anyway, what I'm saying is you might even get a little bit famous, if not generally, but in the work that you do, or just, people notice you, is what I'm trying to say. And that's going to continue into December because we've got the Sun card. So this is very positive. This is one of the best cards in the pack. Again, you shine. You're in a position where everybody sees you. You're looking very beautiful at this time. You're just shine, and everybody recognizes your inherent worth because you've let down your guard, and you are no longer letting your overthinking get in the way of that. So this is really positive, really, really positive, and it's how wonderful to end up the year like that. So from looking at the cards here now, the only difficulty that I see is potentially in June and then August. June is where you feel restricted, and August time when there could be this narcissistic personality there. So now, apart from those, the Death card might be uncomfortable, but it's not a bad card. It's not a bad energy either. So apart from that, it's all pretty plain sailing. So that's your reading for 2023. Now, if you do want to have a personal reading with me, you can contact me. My details are, if you just look at the description box, all the information is there. Or you can email me at zakariyaadeel@gmail.com. Or you can give me a text on WhatsApp. My number is in the description box. And maybe I'll have it flash on the screen as well. WhatsApp me. Cool. All right. Thank you very much, rats. Also, before I go, if you want to get your individual chart, this is my one, I'm Cheap Aquarius. You can buy the individual chart from Amazon for £6.99 or $8.74 if you're in the US. And my first book, Secrets of the Command Astrology, this is available to buy on Amazon. Do you know what? I can't remember how much it is. And when it first came out, it was £29.99. But I think it's a bit cheaper than that on Amazon. I don't know how much it costs in the US, but it's a big book. It's got the 144 charts in there. It's like a dictionary of all the people. So if you're interested, get my book. Yes. Thank you very much, guys. And Gang Hoi Pat Choi. Gang Hai Pat Choi.